Okay, so this is part 2 from Tyler Perry's A Fall from Grace. So, so she was like, so Phylicia Rashad, she was like, oh yeah, she told me that she killed him, but when I got over there, she said by the time I showed up there was nobody. She said, but also when I showed up, I did see that her son was leaving, and he just looked upset and angry. So she said, I don't know if she took his body. She was so out of it. If Grace was so out of it that she put the body in the in the trunk and then dumped it off somewhere, or her son came and saw what happened and took the body and dumped it somewhere. But she said when I got there, all I saw was blood, but I didn't see a body. So she was like, well, you gotta, so the lawyer lady, she's trying to, see if she can get her to testify and all that. But in all, Grace is like, no. Like, I'm not trying to drag nobody in it. I'm not trying to put the friend in it. I'm not trying to put Phylicia in. I'm not trying to put my son in it. Like, leave it alone. So, basically insinuating, the way Phylicia put it, like, the son, either she killed him or the son killed him, or they did it together. Just insinuating, right? So, fast forward. So now, Tyler Perry's character, he's being all rude and shit, and he's like, listen, you need to get this lady to just sign because, this ain't what we trying to do here. We ain't got the money for none of it. And she's like, I don't care. I'm not about to send a lady to jail with something she ain't do. Okay? So now, they finally go to trial. Of course, they're trying to pan Grace out to be a serial killer. Well, not serial, but cold-blooded murderer. And, what's the name? Not Grace, lawyer lady. She's all like, yeah, but come on, she ain't done shit all her life, and this is the one thing. Like, really? Come on, really think about that. So, the court proceedings begin. They're sitting there questioning their witnesses. Lawyer lady's trying to prove that, Jermaine Jackson's hair was actually a con artist, and, that he was out here trying to con Grace, or he did con her, just trying to prove that. So, fast forward, we get to the point where they put Phylicia Rashad on the stand, and she's clearly lying. Like, it's not even, like, I love Phylicia, but that, I felt like, girl, that was the worst lying ever. Like, clearly you're lying. Like, what? She would never hurt a fly. Like, she's just, and then at one point she said, that Grace is not a violent person, even when she needs to be. What does that mean? When does she need to be violent? Like, what is, just really, I'm like, girl, what? So then at some point, they bring up the phone records, and lawyer lady's like, what? That's not on Discovery. And the judge was like, yeah, it is. It was put on there 2 months ago. And so lawyer lady was like, I got this case 3 weeks ago. And the judge was like, girl, welcome to trial, okay? You need to be prepared, okay? So I guess the prosecutor is like asking Phylicia, like, because they asked her, when you talked to, on that night, when you talked to her, what did you guys talk about? She's like, oh, we talked about going to feed the homeless, and then we talked about her son, and blah, blah, blah. And then the prosecutor was like, okay, so how long did you talk about? Oh, we talked for, like, I don't know, 15 minutes or something like that. It's like, really? Because here says you talked for less than 2 minutes, and then, like, 45 minutes later, you called her again twice. And she's like, what? I don't remember that. I mean, it was so long ago, and da-da-da-da. Like, that's how she was like, I just don't remember, and I don't know. So, clearly, we all know she's lying. Like, just listen to her. She's clearly lying. And then, all of a sudden, the prosecutor's like, well, you gotta explain these call records because, you sitting here talking about 15 minutes, and you talked to her less than 2, and then you called her back 45 minutes later twice. So you gotta explain this shit. So then finally, that's when Felicia was like, okay, she called me and told me that she killed him. And so everybody in the court was like, oh. And then Felicia's like, I'm sorry, Grace. I'm like, yeah, some friend you are. So then clearly, it's out there. Like, everybody knew that she killed him, but just to solidify, like, you got the witness saying it. So then she leaves. So the lawyer lady, she's sitting there, she's all upset. Tyler Perry's like, I've been shadowing you, and I even saw the records. I'm like, so you knew this? And then had the nerve to be like, millennials. I'm like, don't be putting that on millennials. You talking about I've been sitting here shadowing you. Okay, so why you ain't help? And you turn around about some millennials. Like, sir, boomer. Okay, boomer. Talking about some millennials. Are you serious? So he mad over that. Lawyer lady, she's all stressed out and embarrassed. Like, how did you not know and get the phone records? I mean, truth be told, like, you should have made sure you had everything to the T. Everything. And I mean everything. Okay? Phone, like, come on now. Phone records. Especially when they told you that she called. Okay, talking about she killed, like, you should have went. But either way, my point. So fast forward, lawyer lady, she's stressed. She's snapping out on her husband. He's like, that's all you do. You just try to run from shit, and you can't run from this. Like, you gotta stand. And she was like, whatever, bullshit. So at this point, at that point, that's when the defense rests their case. Which, once it's rested, that's when, you go to closing statements, right? So it's the day of the closing statements. The prosecutor, he gives a statement. Then when it comes to lawyer lady, she's like, get ready to give her a closing statement. But then she was like, oh my God, I forgot some shit. Like, she didn't remember some shit. She's like, I would like to question Felicia Rashad again. And the judge was like, you can't do that. So she's like, I want to question her. And he's like, you can't do that. And at this point, you're being disrespectful in court. She's like, you keep that up, I'm gonna put you in contempt. So she's still going. So they put her in jail, right? And then, of course, the jury ends up finding Grace guilty for murder. So, they wait. They're like, okay, so she's going to jail. They're going to wait a couple months to sentence her, which that's so dumb. Like, why not sentence her, like, let's see, a day or two later? Why you got to wait a couple months to see how long, to sit in jail, to wait how long you're going to sit in jail? Like, that's so dumb. But, they're sitting there. So then we get, a little flash. So, no. Malcolm, Grace's son, was crying, and Felicia Shaw was comforting him. She said, it's okay, I'm gonna take care of him. And Grace looked at Felicia. She noticed that she had a certain necklace on. So she remembered that Jermaine Jackson's hair also had the same necklace, right? So I'm sitting there, I'm like, ooh, they lovers? Oh my God. So then we see a scene when they were sitting at the table, and, Felicia was like, I'm her friend, whatever. And she was like, no, it's okay. So when Felicia left, she walked out and she raised her hand over Jermaine Jackson's hair's hand, which, made me think, oh, they must be fucking, okay? But no. But that would have been cool, though, if it was like that, though. That would have been something. Then, I want some grits, man. I'd go get me some. Anyway, I just remember we had some grits, man. I want some grits. And maybe some eggs. Grits and eggs. Nah, I think we just take some grits. But anyway, so, we find out that, obviously, Felicia Rashad and Jermaine Jackson here, they in cahoots with each other, right? So like I said, I thought they were lovers, but no, that's actually her son, and that was his mom, right? And so clearly it's like, okay, so they're scamming, out here scamming folks, right? But we didn't know exactly, like, what exactly was going on. So at this point, Grace is like, I want to see my lawyer. So then by this time, that's when lawyer lady, she gets out of jail. She apologizes to court and whatever. She gets out of jail. Then she was like, I just need to go talk to Sarah. So she goes to talk to Sarah. And, just check on her, see how she's doing. She's not there. But if you remember early when I brought up Cicely Tyson, we see her. She's like, has a bag in her hand. And she's like running. And she, looks, the way she looks, she just looks deranged and probably like she got Alzheimer's or dementia or one of those. It looked like that. And so the lawyer lady was like, oh no, what are you doing out here? You get yourself hurt and all the other stuff. Like, just let me take back. So Cicely Tyson, she's like, girl, no, I ain't trying to go back to the house. I'm trying to go home. And then, lawyer lady said, no, you are home. Like, just let me help you out. So she takes her back to Phylicia Rashad's house. And, Cicely Tyson like, no, I ain't trying to be here. I'm trying to go back to my house. And then she names the street, which was Sycamore Street. And if you remember, when Grace said that, the person that came to notarize her shit lived in Sycamore Street, right? On that same block, in that same house, right? And she's like, so Cicely Tyson like, I've been trying to leave to go home, but I just need to create a boat for myself, right? Which means she's like, girl, I'm trying to use you. You are my boat. And when Phylicia comes in here, she's gonna be like, girl, what? And I'm like, sail on out of here, okay? So she's like, what? And then also you hear like boom noise coming from the house. And Cicely Tyson's like, oh, they must be hungry. I'm like, who's they? I'm like, who's they? Must be hungry. And so so lawyer lady's like, what? So she go to investigate. She go downstairs into this, basement area. She walk in there. And there's like a bunch of old ladies in there. And they are dirty. I'm like, what? Hair is all over the place. Chained up to the wall. I'm like, whoa, Phylicia. Girl, what do you have? An old lady? I was like, what is going on? I'm like, what? And she said this, and I'm like, wait a minute. And so Lori Lady's like, what the hell? And then all of a sudden, from behind, Jermaine Jackson's hair shows up and just, captures Lawyer Lady. So then at this point, we'll go over to Lawyer Lady's husband, the policeman, okay? And he's arresting somebody. And they page him. They're like, bitch, you need to check your computer now. Like, get over there now. So he's, checking his computer. And he notices that Phylicia Rashad got a whole bunch of mugshots and shit and warrants. They looking for her. They looking for the son. And he's like, oh shit, I gotta get to that house. So he goes over there. He rushes over there. And he's like knocking on her. By this time, Phylicia Rashad, she done, this scene was a little bad because first of all, she walks in the house and obviously notices that Lawyer Lady done been in there. So she like opens the basement door and just did you get her? I'm like, what? I mean, did you get her? I'm like, wow. You ain't about to go down there. None of that. Like, you don't even know what's going on. Did you get her? I was like, what? So that happened. So policeman shows up. The husband, he shows up. He's knocking on the door. Phylicia Rashad's like, girl, what do you want? He's like, my wife, she was, lawyer to your friend's case. She was supposed to come by here. Did she show up? She's like, what? I don't know what you're talking about. Yeah, she hadn't come by here at all. All of that. All right, see you later, bye. So she closes the door. So then he, this is also kind of funny. So he, calls the wife's phone, the lawyer lady's phone. Obviously, the phone is sitting on the table. Phone's sitting on the table. He hears it. And he just like breaks the door in. I'm like, God dang, like just split it in half, okay? Breaks the door in. Felicia Rashad hits him with a frying pan on the back, right? And he's fighting. And at one point, she threw. You mean to tell me you hit this man with a frying pan? He falls a little bit, but then she threw a bag of groceries at him, and he's like about to pass out. I'm like, are you serious? This is so dumb. So he manages to handcuff her, right? Manages to handcuff her, and she, he's like, don't you move. I'm like, you should have handcuffed her to like a chair or something. He just like handcuffed her and just left her wide open, which was she was able to leave, still handcuffed, but she ended up leaving. So he goes down the basement and he sees all these women in there. He's like, oh shit. And then he's calling for his wife. He opens the door. She's in this little area, and he got the little thing, handkerchief, whatever, over her mouth. And she's like, no. And then that's when Jermaine Jackson's hair shows up, and this whole fight breaks out. So they're fighting, they punching each other and all that other stuff. And then then the lawyer lady, she shows up, and she grabs the gun, and she shoots Jermaine Jackson's hair, and he's finally dead, okay? So it she shoots him, and so he's dead. So then now, we hear the news, and they're talking about this old lady, well, they didn't say old lady, but that's what I'm calling, and how Jermaine Jackson's hair is actually, what is it, Marcus or whatever, Maurice or whatever, either way, that he was wanted in like 7 states, and how he been scamming, him and his mama been scamming. And then we go back to the courtroom. The court apologizes to Grace and is like, we're sorry, you're free to go. The least y'all can do is give her some money, okay? That's the least y'all can do. But no, they apologize to her, lets her go. As far as Felicia Rashad, she's still at large, like she's still. And then the movie ends, okay? The movie ends with Felicia Rashad showing up to somebody's house, this lady's house, and she's like, oh, you gonna take care of my mother or whatever? And she's like, yeah, I'm gonna take care of her. Oh, your mom was a financial manager. I'm like, oh, God. So, yeah, so I don't know if that was setting up for a sequel. I hope not, because I promise y'all, I will say the movie was cute. Okay, it was a cute movie, but this movie does not need to be a sequel at all. Like, it's not meant to be a sequel. It's not supposed to be, and it doesn't need to be. I don't want to see Fall from Grace 2. I don't need to see that. I don't need to see it. I don't need to see this ever. This was the only time I've watched this movie, and I've never seen it again. Like, I don't know if Tyler Perry stole somebody's shit, actually had a ghostwriter. I don't, because, Tyler Perry's good for, like, being inspired, in quotations. Inspired. Or is it air quotes? Inspired. Okay. But he writes his own shit, so whatever. Plagiarism at its best. But anyway, my point. Like I said, overall, it was cool. It's alright. It kept me, what's the word? It gets intrigued. It kept me interested. Like, okay. At some parts I was bored, but usually with me when it comes to movies, like, and the beauty of having like Fire Stick or whatever, or even not a Fire Stick, but when you have your own like DVD movie or whatever, when you're able to just fast forward to certain things, I didn't do that, so that's a plus for you, Mr. Perry. But again, I'm never ever watching this movie. And one thing I will say, while Grace was telling, a story of her husband or whatever, I did feel like it did feel a little bit acrimony-ish, because you know how Taraji was being the narrator, she was being the narrator for majority of the movie. That's how it felt, telling the love story and all. That's how it felt, like acrimony. Only thing is, there's a difference there. But yeah, another thing I've noticed that Tyler Perry is like each movie, he figures out, okay, how can we make this man, the man, how are we going to make him even more trash? Because before in Acrimony, we had, the only way he was trash, because he was a bum trying to make a self-charging battery. Like, girl, get on. And then this guy, he out here scamming, okay? So, scamming old ladies out there, and then storing them like sardines. But anyway, would I recommend this movie? Now, I did notice that there are a lot of mixed reviews. It's a Tyler Perry film. There's always going to be mixed reviews. If I would give this a rating, I would give it a smooth 6. Yeah, I'll give it a 6. But would I recommend this movie? I would say, if you're gonna watch it, okay? Just watch it. It is an absolute experience, okay? But if you don't, that's also fine. But I don't know exactly. Like, I would just say, if you're gonna watch it, just watch it. Have an open mind. Yeah, there's gonna be some parts in the movie you're like, now hold up. But just watch it. Have an open mind. Because like I said, a lot of people liked it and a lot of people didn't like it. But that's with any movie, really. But because it's a Tyler Perry film, it's definitely going to get a lot. I think more so of I didn't like it. So, that's my review, my movie review. Now I know I said I would do movie Mondays or whatever, but y'all know I work. Listen, so I think it's just better that I do it every once in a while. So that way it keeps it fresh. And I don't ever get dried out from it. So, just something different, So every now and again, I'll watch a movie and just pop in and be like, okay, this is what happened. Let me give y'all my opinion on it. Is there anything in the movie that I would change? Not necessarily. No, I don't have anything that I would change in the movie. It is what it is, really. There's really nothing I would change in there because, again, when I watched... because when I watched, immediately I was like, oh my god, what is this? But then as the movie went on, I was like, okay, I'm actually, enjoying myself. This is weird, This is the last time I actually, enjoyed a Tyler Perry movie. It's been a while, Meaning, when was the last time I enjoyed a Tyler Perry movie that didn't have Madea in it? Because any Madea film, minus the one where, what is it, Medea's Protection Service, whatever. Girl, that shit was so dumb. Whatever. That one, and I didn't really care for a Big Happy Family. I didn't really care for that. I feel like Madea is the Marvel Cinematic Universe. I swear, it's she's family with something. Everybody family. I'm probably family. She's probably my great aunt or something. I don't know, but whatever. But yeah, this was an alright movie. If you're gonna go see it, well, it's on Netflix, so, or you can find it online, or if you got the beauty of a Fire Stick like I do, then you can just watch it there. But other than that, that's all I got. I ain't got no more. Do I have anything else that I want to say? Anything else I want to touch on? No. Oh yeah, Tyler Perry, please stop with the wigs. That is all I ask y'all. Stop with the wigs. You can't sit here talking about you make all this money and you getting these terrible wigs. Why is there even a need for a wig? I don't know. And then, and it's obvious it's a wig. That's the sad part. It's an obvious wig. No. But, like I said, that's all I got. I ain't got no more. I'll see y'all in the next one. Bye.